Da-na-na. Day 15. Morning, Liz. Or day 16. This is crazy, huh? We go to bed. I go to bed at like 10 p.m. every night. Like, no excuses. At the latest, maybe 11. Just to be up at 5. Isn't that crazy? I'm telling you. You know songs on my mind? Um, I don't know why this song is on my mind. Hey.
Another one. Another one. We the best music. DJ Khaled.
I don't know if you could take it. No, you wanna see me naked. I wanna be the baby.
I want to meditate back. I don't know. I'm feeling some kind of way.
On the ground. Then again, I can't be around.
Just give me like a couple minutes while I zone out. Okay?
Cause I can do some things that I'm gon' do. Wow, wow, thoughts. Wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. Wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts.
Let's go.
I hope you know I'm about to take it. You know this cookie's for the bag. Kitty, baby, get that thing to rest. Cause you don't beat it like the 68 jet.
Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm ready to calm my mind. Okay. Oh. She said, why? Oh man. I have like 4 books that I think I'm going to read next. I don't know which one now. Good morning to everybody else who joined. Now we're getting into our reading segment. And go. Excuse me. Ah, jeez. Yeah, that's a big one. That's times. Holy smokes, dimes. Dimes everywhere. Dimes, 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 dimes. Okay. Let me see something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I only have 30 pages left. Okay. Dimes, 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 dimes. Blessings in every line. It's crazy. So, yesterday, before my internet connection was lost, there was something I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I know we're supposed to go into our journaling, but I have to talk about this. Oh, okay. Well, not really. Okay. A few things here. Well, first thing is, have you guys seen that movie It? I thought it was the most terrible movie in the world. But it was okay, it was alright. It was maybe like 6.2 out of 10. Okay. So the most impactful part about that movie though for me was when the clown was in the well. Sorry for any of you guys who haven't seen it yet. It should be out on Netflix or some other websites soon. But he was in the well. The clown was in the well, and all the people have gathered together because they were fearless. Because my brother Mark, he explained it so perfectly. So I had no idea what this It was about, but he pretty much he thrived on the fear of people, right? Them just being fearful of anything, then he feasts on it. So when all of the main characters in the movie stopped being fearful, then he couldn't take that. And so they all came together. And then as he was getting ready to fall down this well, he goes, fear. And then he disappears. And that was the most impactful, that was the best part of the movie. Because today I'm still thinking about it. And I think the way I interpreted that was fear is an illusion. So one really, really huge thing that came up for me early in my days is I want to be financially free before I get married. I want to have billions of dollars before I have kids. I want to do this. I want to do that. And little did I know I was working from a fear-based perspective. I had a fear-based mindset. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Now, wanting to be financially secure and things like that, okay, I get it. But frankly, us as people, we have to make our own decisions. We have to create the perfect scenarios. And if we have the ability and the power to be magnificent people, no matter what the circumstances. See, this is kind of a big topic for me because so many people say that I hear, having kids is hard. Well, that's one thought. That's one perspective. Oh, well, you don't know. You don't have any kids yet. You're right. I don't know yet. But I do know because my mindset and what I'm projecting and what I'm manifesting for my reality, I believe is truly going to be that great. Like, I'm not going to expect anything else. It's kind of like if you take the concept of you have Susie Q who got her wisdom tooth pulled, right? You have David M who got his wisdom tooth pulled. David M says, "Oh my God, it was the worst experience in the world, most terrible thing ever. You will hate it." And then Susie Q says, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all." You can go in with two mindsets. You can go in with either A, it's going to be the worst thing in the world, or B, it's not going to be that bad. And it's always obviously different for everyone. But my point is which mindset are you going to keep, you know? So it's like, obviously you'd want to keep the more positive mindset that it's not going to be so bad that when you come out out of surgery or when you're done with the process, the Novocaine is going to keep you numb. You might have some anti-inflammatory or pain, controlling pain controllers or whatever. Your body's just going to react to the process a certain way. That's the same thing with everything that you create. If you think that it's hard being or it's expensive to own a house or to buy a house, that's all restraining. Those are restraining mindsets. Those are things that are pulling you back. So my point is don't let fear, okay, or the fear of lack stop you from making big moves in your life. Because like I said in a couple videos ago, life is too short. Like I'm 27, okay? In no time, I'll be 30. I turned 28 this year. In no time, I'll be 30. In no time, I'll be 35. And then 40. Then it's like, dude, like years, this year's already over. And they're just continuing to fly by. So it's like, oh, well, I have kids, so I can't take that risk. Or, oh, I have a family at home I gotta keep. I understand that and I respect that. However, that's one mindset. What about the other side? What about the other side that says, oh, I have kids and I can take that risk, and even if I fail, the universe will or the higher power will continue to bless me with, opportunities that will keep me going, and that I will never give up, and I'm going to keep chugging through this, and everything's going to be all right. Don't let fear stop you from achieving your dreams or taking that risk or doing something that makes you uncomfortable or whatever it may be. Stretching is what they say, stretching and then making yourself in an uncomfortable space so that you can grow, be different than what you were the day before. Don't let fear stop you from doing that, because it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. Oh, I don't want to not provide for my family. That's an illusion. Depending on what the risk is, obviously, if you're going out and, frivolously just doing whatever, I mean, there may be some coaching around, but my point is don't let fear stop you from achieving your goals, and don't let your family or whoever stop you from achieving the mental block of having to provide or not having enough. Don't pause. One thing that I try to remind myself of is not to let fear take me into that direction. And even though I'm making a decision about something, I take that risk. It feels uncomfortable, but when I stop and I think about it, I say, okay, I'm fearful of X. Change your mindset, execute, plan. And you plan. Okay, that was a little uncomfortable, a little bit more stretching than I wanted. What do I do next? Okay, sit back, manifest, create, pray, poise, calm, clear head, execute. And you keep moving. Now, this is another one. I was listening to Jim Rohn yesterday, and that's why I posted that video. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, okay, let's say you have your job, right? You're working every day, and you're like, man, I'm making money for myself, and I feel great providing for my family, but I want to take care of myself. I want to go out and buy clothes. I want to go out and buy shoes, whatever it is. Now, we're talking in more of a material space here, obviously. We're sharpening ourselves every day, so that's not even to question. But you say, and then people say, oh, well, buying a house is a better investment because you don't want to buy a car because a car is an appreciating asset. Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like, well, I want to enjoy my life too. So what if I want to go out and buy a nice car? So my point is here. Jim Rohn says a poor-minded person will buy and then invest. Okay? Because I was looking for this answer because I'm just like, man, I'll explain to you. Okay, so then a wealthy person's mindset is invest and then buy. And so he breaks it down into a series of like 70% of your money should go into like investing, 10% should go to you, 10% should go to charity, and then 10% should go toward another some type of cause, whatever it is that you want. And so that's really important because as we go through our lives and we're influenced and we're sold constantly to and we're marketed to consistently every day, You know, we have all these messages, these signals coming to us everywhere, right? We have to remind ourselves that we may not be driving the nicest cars, right? But we're putting our money into things that are going to work for us. And in no time, just like reading a book, page by page, or that boulder analogy, oh my goodness, what's the word? Analogy. That boulder analogy that I said, where you move a rock, you're trying to get a rock from here to over here, and the rock is bigger than me, right? It's bigger than your body. And every single day, you push that rock. Every single day. It may take you 6 months to get to over here, but every single day you move just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And just like reading these books, a little bit more, then we're done. Constantly remind yourself that even though you're not driving the nicest car, even though you're not wearing the flyest clothes, that you're still in a good place. And that the decisions that you're making will help you in the future. Now, take care of yourself. Obviously, treat yourself. Be fly, be nice, be cool, whatever it is that you like to do. But, you know, just remind yourself, because that was a huge hitter for me, a huge mental hitter. Once I heard that yesterday, I was like, okay, Dave, just keep going, baby. Just keep going. So that was a big one. Now, this is another thing here. Sorry, so I was like, man, I can't journal about this. We gotta talk about it. Diamonds everywhere here. Okay, hold on, one more. Now, as you're transforming, right, you're gonna create and you're gonna drop a lot of habits that you used to have, things like that, because you're evolving. And now that we're doing these videos together, you'll start to see, if you haven't already in your day-to-day, that as you self-develop and as you evolve, people around you will start to notice. Check this out. So, to preface this segment, this page and a half, or this page and a half, it was about a woman who was in a relationship for a long time, and she realized that her soul was hurting. Okay? And there was a conversation that Richard had with her. If I'm not mistaken, it was Richard. And she was getting a nudge or a higher calling that this was not the end for her. This relationship was not the end for her. Okay. This nudge, pull, tug, and awareness is a potential catalyst shifting your reality. When you pay attention to these signs, you then become a spiritual listener. Wake and begin to prepare yourself to jump into the gap. The gap is the space of uncertainty that you don't know about. When you're in a situation and you know there's more for you, you jump. Even though you don't know what the heck is in store, but you know there's something better, right? Okay, we talked about that. Apart from preparing to jump, you need to decide what you will do with this pull from within. Deciding something new can be very scary because it might not just affect you, but it can also affect everyone around you. The people in your life get stuck in how they see you and what role you play in their lives. When you decide to shift into something new, it has the potential of creating a chain reaction all around you. Metaphorically, it's like a tremor or earthquake in your life, and the people in your life feel it. You might want to change, and the people who say they want to support you hang on to you the way you were. This is very dangerous. This is a very dangerous place for some because you are seeing something new within yourself. You are seeing the change you are seeing the change as a part of your own self-revolution. But the people in your life are clinging for this change to stop because your shift is making them shift. However, you must be willing to embrace the idea that you are programmed naturally to self-evolve. Your spirit and soul have a desire to reach further, explore deeper, and when those shifts happen, it brings up a lot of fear from others around you and is the reason for the lack of support. You may find that friends or family tell you that they support your changes, but then down the road, they may begin to start trying to talk you out of your dreams because they don't see what you see. They are afraid of losing the old you to the new you. Could it be that they are resisting themselves and not allowing their own internal self-evolving programming to develop further. Spiritually reliable vessels know the moment you step into the spiritual path, the universe will begin to change your thoughts, clear your vision, and open the doors to truth that were beyond your wildest dreams. Holy smokes. But not all people will have these experiences or realizations. Therefore, they cannot understand your perceptions or of the world. These are very awkward moments in our lives, and it is like we are being pushed through a knothole, and no knothole is a straight shot to the other side. These moments are forcing you and those in your life to jump into the gap of the unknown, pushing your consciousness to mind the gap. Okay, huge, huge, huge. Listen, I really, really believe that we are not the... I believe one of the universal truths are that we are not the same person we were a minute ago. I wasn't the same person before I read this that I am now. And people around you were either awake or asleep. Okay? As a people, as a human race. Consciously living, being mindful of actions, being mindful of attention, being mindful of thoughts, being mindful of self, being mindful, open, and aware of who we are as people operating in this greater space is huge. Okay? Then there's people who just go through life and may or may not realize how their impact or how their words, how their actions impact other people, and really could care less. Okay? No judgment either way, but people around you will feel your evolution, and it's not a point of you don't love them. It's not a point of you don't care for them or they're not everything to you still. But when you grow out of a space, and you'll see this with friends. Oh man, I met this really sweet girl. She grew out of her space, and she grew out of a space of being kind of like a supporting role or a supporting cast in a relationship. There was this one person who was the main attraction, quote unquote, and she was just a supporting space. And this main person was the most pretty. She was the most, glamorous. Always had her nails done, this, that, and the other. And this other person, she again supported. She would come in. She was pretty too, right? But she wouldn't walk. It wouldn't be like a side by side thing necessarily. It would be like, okay, always one person up. But she started to evolve into this leader where the roles started to shift. And then this girl, the primary, the leader, quote unquote, started to feel some kind of way about it. And then they pretty much started to conflict a little bit. Well, we'll see that in our day-to-day relationships, whatever it is, But in that example, the leader is starting to feel the earthquake waves of that girl who got her confidence up, who believed that she could walk in strong first and people behind her could follow her, or that she could share that plane and be on the same ledge right next to her, her best friend. And that is true for all of us, but there shouldn't be any tension there. And so it just depends on what people's level of awareness is, when you're going through that shift and you're realizing your truest and your truest and brightest potential or light. And so as you go through it, it's just about coaching yourself and sharpening yourself to know, okay, this is how I would handle this situation. Now I have the words to thought to explain this example. And as you teach yourself, right, self-help, self-teach, you'll become stronger in the way that you move through life and you move through these scenarios as you watch people shape-shift around you. And it's beautiful because now you'll start to attract more people or attract different people that you never attracted before, that'll open your mind to all these different dimensions of things that you think, oh, well, I always wanted to do that, but I don't know how yet. And then boom, you earthquake, everything around you shifts, and then somebody comes in your life and delivers you exactly what you wanted or exactly what you were thinking about. So, just dimes. It's just been this book And what that Jim Rohn piece that I heard yesterday, absolutely phenomenal, crazy. And Jim Rohn also said, what did he say? He said the investment thing, and then he said, oh gosh, he said, he said, no matter what your career is, something along the lines of, no matter what your career is, okay? This is so crazy. No matter what your career is, okay? If you take time to sharpen yourself and chisel yourself into a masterful piece of art, and you work on your self-development, you work on your mindset, you work on your moral system, you work on how you treat people, you work on how you perceive yourself, you work on how you love yourself, you work on how you love others, you work on these things constantly every single day, you will be more successful in your career than the person who works on their job every day. Because you know who you are, so then you become an asset to the industry. You become an asset to people around you because you're taking time to understand who you are, so you give people the space to be who they are, and you don't judge them, you don't limit them to a cap. Huge, man, just huge stuff. So, you know what they say about truth? It always finds a way to reaffirm itself. So when you learn something, later on that day, you learn something else that affirms that previous, thing that you learned. That's a truth affirming a truth. And when you build your life on these blocks, that's how you know you're not going the wrong way, because, they always say lies come up to the surface, they rise to the top, or you always get caught up in a lie, because a lie creates a circle of things or events around you, but a truth breaks through that and then only affirms, and so it stacks layers on layers on layers and gives you credibility as a person and a subconscious credibility or validity to other people, and they can feel that when you live that way. And so, man, what a Saturday! Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for being a part of this community. Just wonderful, and I'm happy to be able to talk it out. So I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Go work out, have a good one, and finish your journaling if you haven't done it yet. It's 6 a.m., so I'm going to get out of here. Love you guys.